Alright, so I'm not going to be on the camera this time, so because we're going to be working on some stuff, and this is more important to see than me actually sitting here talking. So this is going to be part 3. This is going to be working on the mount. How do we make the mount stronger, stabilized? So there, you'll notice that at the bottom here, there's this little plug. So if you pull that plug out, that exposes that. And if you look closely on this mount, right? So you see right up in here, there's a little rim. We need to stay below that. And what we're going to do is we're going to drill holes into here, right? So this rim actually stops, that's the stopper for this piece. So we want to be below that little ledge there, right? So what you're going to need, if you notice also, right? So you have the whole interior pole here. But if I loosen this up here, this pole actually slides out and it comes out from inside here. So what we need to do is we need to find out how far in there that pole is. So just get you, like here I have a popsicle stick, right? You can use whatever, just stick her up in there, right? And you want to slide it along the edge of the metal there. And as soon as you hit something, so I hit something right there. So now I just take my pin and I mark where that is. And now I know that's how deep I can go with my stick, right? With it, that'll hit the top of this. That's what we're doing. We're hitting up here on that inner pole that slides inside. So we want to be above that. So now that I have this reference mark, what this does and what we're going to do is we're going to lower the center of gravity of this, right? This whole mount. So by lowering the center of gravity, that brings it more stability. That's what we're looking for. So your other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and take a tape measure. And I've already measured this stuff, but anyways, I'll just do this just for whatever, right? So you take a tape measure, measure your hole, right? So it's less than 3/4, but greater than a half, so 5/8. A little bit bigger than 5/8. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a 5/8 oak dowel rod. And the reason why we go with oak is because oak is a harder wood, right? And you can get this at Lowe's, Home Depot, any one of the hardware stores. The other ones are a softer wood, and you're going to want a harder wood. So I would suggest getting the oak. This is like $6 for a 3-foot piece, okay? So you remember the mark we had. So all we're going to do is going to put it, as we put it butt end. So I put the stick to there. There's my mark right there. I'm going to go a little bit below that, so I'm just going to go right above the label there. So hopefully you can see that. I'll get a little closer. So there's my mark. I'm going to cut it to here. That gives me a little bit of a spacing gap. You can cut this with whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's just as long as it gets cut right. We'll use the smooth edge over here. Like I'm going to use a coping saw, right? You can use a table saw, you can use whatever, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, it's not that important. I'll try and at least cut it straight because I might have a use for this later. So there's my cut. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, so now we have that, right? We're gonna stick it up in there because it'll slide up in there. Well, let's put the cut in that you cut up in there because the smoother end we'll put at the bottom. So we stick it all the way up in there. Now we're hitting the top of the poles and I can feel the poles in there. I can't push it in anymore. So now we're flush. Oh man, I'm gonna sneeze again. Okay. Now we're flush. And we're gonna need to get a drill. So I'm gonna put 2 screws in there. And these are M2 by 8. So we're going to take these two little M2 screws, right? These are very tiny. And we're going to drill holes. Let me get on the other side here. And come back. So what we're going to do, right? And I'm going to use a 1/16 drill bit, and we're not going to go very deep. We just want to go inside. I think I'm going to reduce these down, make this smaller, right? Be easier to work with instead of having these big giant legs poking out. You can run into everything. So we stick our dowel rod in there. It's flush. Right, you can't see it. It's flush. It's right in there. Move the screws out of the way. And we're just going to drill opposite sides. So I'm going to drill here, and then I'm going to drill on the other side, okay? And let's see, I think, how am I going to do this to make this easy? I mean, we could. Let's not do that. If I do it here and over there, that will be even. So I don't know if I want to do this on my leg. Yeah, you can see that. So once you get through the metal, just go a little bit into the wood. Don't go a whole lot. Uh-oh. I forgot my screwdriver. Try and make sure when you put your screw in that it is going in that hole, right? Alright, I'm going to have to pause it here. I'll go get my screwdriver. Okay. Now that I'm back. Alright, so now I have my screwdriver that I completely forgot. We just want to put these barely in here to hold. Not too far, just in a little bit, right? And the only reason why we put it in just a little bit, so I don't know if you can see that here. I'll try and make it where you can see it. Right down here, right? Just put it in just a little bit and let it stick out, because you want to put glue in there to hold it, right? So then the other one we're going to try and get in straight opposite of it this way. So we'll have a screw here and a screw here coming in this way, so they'll be even. So we're going to try and do the same thing. So about right here is right in the middle. And we want to be above the, remember, above the rim here. And we just go a little bit into it again. So ideally, remember, my bad super glue, or my bad wood glue, right? So now we take our wood glue. Which I've had this for a little while, so I'll let the autofocus get caught up on it. I hear the tree frogs yapping. That's all right. We could spill it everywhere. It's okay. It's just wood glue. The main thing with the wood glue, right, is to get it in the hole. That's the main part of it. And wood glue is easy to clean up. Don't stress it too much. So now, Hopefully you can see this here. So that one's in. So now that that one's in, we could take this one out, since it really doesn't, crap. Got it on the hinge thing, oh well. Get some wood glue on the screw. And we just want to screw this one all the way in too now, right? And go ahead and make sure they're snug. That one's snug. Just make sure that this one's snug. Wipe off your excess glue. I should have got a paper towel, but I used my pants as usual. That's the general paper towel for everything. All right. So now you have this completely secured in there. Ideally, what we're going to do is we're going to take this little eye screw. We're going to put it right in the middle. Okay, but before we do that, we got to open this up. So there's a little gap there. So there's a couple ways you can open this up, right? So what I like to do is I like to grab the side that's not going to move with vice grips. So this is the side that's going to move. And then I'll take a screwdriver, right? And I'll stick it right in here on the edge. Right on the edge of that. Your other option, you could take a screwdriver here and a screwdriver on the other side. So you have two screwdrivers and you could push them together or hit one of them with a hammer, right? You could do that. But all we want to do is we just want to bend that open a little, right? And it's very easy. You could even use vise. Vise would be even easier. So anyways, now that we have that done, right, we go, you can, if you want to, you can just measure. I'm just going to eyeball this right in the middle. It's a 5/8 dowel rod. And I'm just going to use the same 1/16 bit, drill bit for it. And then we're just going to do the same thing. You can put wood glue on this. Do this or maybe you can see me make a big mess. It doesn't take very much. We just put our screw in it as well, so our screw's getting covered. And we're just going to screw this in. Ideally, I should use a little bit of a bigger drill bit, but that's right. I think I could get away with this. So the idea of the drill bit, right, is to not crack the wood. That's what you don't want to do. I'm kind of taking a little bit of a chance with this, but I got another one. So anyhow, let's do this. Let's get this screwed in here. Could actually even use a screwdriver. It's far enough in there I could probably screwdriver this. And where's my other one at? Put this one on here. This will be easier to turn. And we just turn it in. So now we've lowered the center of gravity, right? Just put it till it's tight. So there you go, right? Right in the middle. Uh-oh. Oh, we have it. So ideally, right, once you get the legs measured out, we can open the legs back up. All right, now we got our legs opened up. Ideally, what you want to do, and I'll put this down a little bit. So you take your string and you're going to kind of want to have a rough idea measurement-wise of your loop where it's going to hang down at. And then, I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of a little cut out. I have to go a lot lower. So you see how it's kind of down here. So ideally, right, you're going to put your jug down there. You're going to have this measured off. So the jug is on the ground, but we're not near the handle. So that's a good place to tie it. So now what we're going to do, right, we're going to take this, our 2 loops of our string. We're just going to put them together. We're just going to tie them into a single knot. That's all you have to do, preferably up in the end. You can always trim them off later. I'm using a nylon cord. I forget what diameters are, but anyways, I'll look it up and put it down in the description below, and you can go look at it. So now that you have that, right, you just take your jug, now this is a full gallon of water. So water, I think, is 8.22 pounds or something like that. But anyway, so now you got an 8 pound. Now you got an 8 pound counterweight on there. I'm gonna zoom you out, move you up maybe a little. If you want to, right? So this has added a lot of stability, like a lot. Like this thing is really, really hard to move now, right? It wants to go right back to where it is, right? It doesn't want, look. It's acting like it's oh, I just knocked that off. Uh-oh. Well, I had to go find those pieces probably. Oh, that's the end piece. Uh-oh. I knocked the end, oh, here it is. Better be careful. Being a little roughhousing. Knocking stuff apart. Oh, you guys can't see it. Yeah. So I knocked the top off roughhousing with it. So anyhow, I'll have to roughen this back up. All right, now that's back in there. So now you have a super stable mount. Now, I mean, this thing is really, really good, right? And now I don't have to worry too much about knocking it over. Can I get you guys out a little bit more? Here, I'll move you back. Uh-oh. So you see, it's super strong, right? And if you want, if that's too much weight for you, take out a half a gallon. Now you're down to 4 pounds, right? Get a scale, put it on the scale in the house, add water to it. You can change and make your own weights, right? And if your jug goes bad, you just put another jug on it. There's no spending any money, right? You're already gonna have milk anyhow, right? Okay, so that's making this mount super stable. And like, I feel comfortable with this, right? Without having it falling over. So the next thing, so when you put your telescope on here, we have this is so stiff and it's not very smooth, right? So what we can do, oh, this is the one I just knocked off earlier. So now what we can do is loosen this all the way up. And you know what I would do is I would just take this completely out, this one screw. So this is the one that controls this. So I'm taking that screw out right there. Okay. With your screwdriver, you'll see this gap right here. I'll zoom you guys in for this. Oh. So now I gotta kind of do camera work. So I'm going right into this gap right here, right? And I'm just gonna open this just a little bit, and I'm gonna try and pull up as I do it so that this piece comes off. Okay, so you see this little ring down here, and that's where it gets the tightness from. It just squeezes on this little ring. So now I have two ideas for this. So I can't really do much with this piece in here, right? But what I can do is I can put this tape on it, this Teflon tape. I have another alternative, and that's I can put graphite in there. So graphite's better than grease. You don't want to use grease. Grease collects a lot of oil, so try not to use grease if you can help it. So let's try the Teflon tape first, and if we don't like it, we can either take the tape off, or we can just put the graphite on with the tape on there. So now we have two slick surfaces. So we just Teflon tape this thing, and it doesn't matter if there's extra, we can always pull it out. Ideally you want to try and keep it as wide as you can. And we want to go all the way and come back, right? Because we want to make sure we get everything covered. I'm getting a little too much tape out here. I'll do this again. I know I'm holding a screwdriver. So it makes it harder for me to get my tape. My tape's getting thin when I want it to get wide. And it's okay if it pokes out a little bit. So now what we do is we just pull it and break it, right? It's okay if it sits on the top. It's okay if it sits underneath, pokes out. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put this back on. Put this over, you guys can see it. I don't have to splay it out, right? Okay, now it adds a little bit more thickness to it. So with this, you have to spin it for a little while, and it's got to work itself out, right? I think that's a lot smoother. I don't have any tools to tell me, I just have to do this by feel, right? But it feels a lot smoother. I can go into fine motions with it, right? Okay, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and see if we can add to it. This won't hurt. Let's add some graphite to it. So this is, you can get it at Walmart or wherever. I'll have a link to all this stuff, right? Get whatever you want. It's just graphite, right? It's for key locks. So anybody who makes keys, just go there, right? Wherever they make their keys. So just squirt it in there. And as you're squirting it, turn it, right? Because we want to try and put it all the way around. You can have graphite everywhere, but that's okay. This is cheap. Graphite's not that expensive. So You have two options there, or three. You can do both, one or the other, and just make sure you spin it. So now we've added this. So now we have this one, right? Well, let me lower this down. So now we have this one, which does the same thing, right? So if I unscrew this all the way out, and I take my screwdriver, and I stick it in this little wedge spot here, right? And I kind of just open it a little bit and pull it out. Uh-oh, there's a screw, I mean a bolt. So our bolt, which I think it goes, I'm not sure. Maybe it just sits right here. I'm not, no, that doesn't seem right. Interesting. Maybe it goes inside. Oh yeah. So, loosen this up. So the bolt, if you drop the bolt out, it just goes right here, okay? And make sure it sits all the way in there, because that's what screws in from this side. It goes into that bolt. So we'll need to remember that. But so the same thing here is same thing, right? This is where all the friction's at. So we want to reduce the friction from this point and that point. Are you guys in focus? I hope you're in focus. Let me be a little wider angle. Let's do the same thing here. Teflon. I'm kind of doing this in a little bit of a hurry. I'll probably come back and redo this because there's like, I don't want this to get like super boring. I guess you could always skip ahead, right? But anyways, I'm gonna do this fairly quick. Oh, the tree frog's chirping again. Usually they don't hear them this time of the year. That's a little surprising. Alright. So now we've got that on. I'll just pull it off to break it. It's very easy to break. We'll cheat a little bit this time. We'll put the graphite on first, right? We'll just bounce some graphite in there. Some of it might stay. I like to shake up the graphite sometimes. It gets clumped up. I don't know if it's static or what, but it's a little bit humid out today. I'm really sweating, but I need to fix that. Okay, where's my screwdriver? Let's go ahead and open this up as we put this on, right? Because this will help not mess up the stuff we're putting on there. So, and we turn that down, right? We'll take our piece, and hopefully we still got our screw. Yep, we do. Okay, so now this is this way, right? Oh, that's really smooth too. So, same thing as before, let's do it this way. So we're stuck, right? We can't go anymore, so we're gonna squirt in the crack here. This crack that goes up, we're gonna squirt our graphite in there. We're gonna pull it up as we go, right? And just keep squirting. Actually might tap some graphite, make sure it's not all clumped up. And just squirt the daylights out of it, right? And we'll just rotate it, keep rotating it. And you can kind of see the Teflon spinning, right? See the Teflon, oh, now it's not spinning anymore. Let me give it a little bit more friction. Now it's spinning again. So anyhow, that's a lot tighter and smoother, right? So that's, I hope that helps you guys out. getting this mount working a lot better. I hate this mount, really, to be honest with you. You need to get a new mount, but if you can't afford one, this is the best way I can think to fix it and make it work a lot better, all right? I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'd like to hear some comments from you guys, like what do you think about the videos, and what do you think about what I'm doing, and do you like this stuff, or whatever you want to hear. As long as you're not really obnoxious, I'm not going to get too upset. So, thanks for watching.